Now, being a mindset and transformation coach, you must probably be wondering, how did I come up with the topic of is time travel possible? Now, before you call the authorities to have me reported for completely losing my mind, I ask you that you bear with me. I'm not going to answer this question directly, but what I will do is give you some real life examples. And then in the end, you can be the judge of that. So how did I come up with this topic? Well, over the weekend, I was watching a live broadcast by a fellow coach, Lisa. And during her broadcast, she mentioned that her daughter, having an inquisitive mind, as all young kids do, asked her the question, can people time travel? And she chose to explain it to her by saying that although it is important to plan for the future, as well as look in the past, what is critical is that you live in the now, so that you don't miss life as it is right now. Now, over the last decade, the meaningful change I have created in my life has come from asking myself the tough questions, because that is how you create meaningful change. And because my mind is now programmed that way, it got thinking, is time travel possible? Is there a link to personal growth? And I found that link. And I'm going to link it to goal setting. Now you ask the question, how do you link time travel to goal setting? Bear with me, I'll get to that. But first, let's have a look at what is time travel. There's many movies and series about this, and no, I'm not a scientist, and no, I have not watched way too much Big Bang Theory. In basic principles, time travel is one of two things. It's traveling into the past so that you can make some changes so that you benefit from those changes in the now. And the next thing would be traveling into the future so that you can see how that looks so that you can make some changes now to prepare yourself for that future. So let's link that to goal setting. And let me first choose the easiest one of the two, of looking into the future. One of the key principles that I teach in my Possibilities Unleashed masterclass is the art of effective goal setting. See, I strongly believe that goal setting is a way of bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. So to effectively set a goal, you look at your end result, in other words, your future, and you then start working back step by step until you get to a point where there is something that you can do right now in order to achieve that goal. So that takes care of the future part of it. Now let's look at the past. I am not one at dwelling in the past, because what happened, happened, and there's nothing you can do about it. However, the benefit of looking into the past is when you're looking to identify past successes that you can repeat now to achieve your goals in the future, number one. Number two is we all have limiting beliefs which get programmed into us by our peers, our parents, the education system, and society as a whole, as they put us into this little box called the comfort zone. But if you look at the past, at an event that gave you this limiting belief, but based on what you know now, based on your life experiences now, you know that is no longer the case. That is not your truth anymore. You can decide to change your feelings, your emotions, and your beliefs about that situation that happened in the past. And that will have benefit to you now, so that you can then take action moving into the future. So I didn't answer the question directly, but goal setting is a form of time travel. Don't get me wrong, the important part is about living in the now. Don't focus too much on the future, because while you're spending your time in the future, you're missing out on what's taking place now. Don't spend too much time in the past, because like I said earlier, there's absolutely nothing you can do about the past. However, if you're looking back as a means of education, then go ahead and do that, because that's going to prepare you for what you need to do right now, moving into the future. What I would like to ask you is, can you think of a time when you looked at an event in the past, either to identify how you succeeded at that event so you could repeat it, or to identify what was limiting you so that you could deal with those emotions and those beliefs right now? Then I would further like to ask you, how do you go about goal setting? What are the processes you put in place to ensure that your goals are within your reach? Because here's one thing I can assure you. You are capable of doing absolutely anything you set your mind to, as long as you commit to it and take action. Because the fact is, we were born to thrive and not just to survive. So I hope you enjoyed that little twist on time travel and linking it to goal setting. If you believe you know someone who could benefit from this broadcast, by all means, go ahead, share it, comment, like, and let me have your thoughts on what I have presented, or if there's any questions you have for me.